This is your Afrogoth, Nicole Kali, here in Alexandria. Home of Black History, baby. This is Ivy Hill Cemetery, where we've actually done a recent photo shoot yesterday. Can't wait to release the results of that tonight. We're sitting in a creek, tributary of the Potomac River, right? I mentioned the deity Yemaya, but actually Oshun and the Nigerian belief Yoruba is the deity of rivers, of femininity, of all the beautiful things that make up nature, right? We're talking about Orishas from Yoruba, right? I'm trying to embody Oshun because I think she's amazing. I'm also, thrown back to my Nigerian heritage because I found out that's where my family comes from originally. I really like nighttime, if you couldn't tell. I'm into the whole Afrogoth aesthetic of being a vampire and the eerie supernatural, Not just for this time of year, right? Because Halloween and the thin bridge between the spirit world, just in general, I'm one of those people that believes in double darkness. Hey, Larvel. What's good, Black Dot? Double darkness being like we're black, but we also embody the mysterious, the unknown, and the scary, I do think to an extent that is why black people are feared, like we are the reminder that there is so much more to existence, to the world than people at first see, right, and at first respect. There's different aspects to, our people in the diaspora that are slept on all the time, One of my friends, Joel Bernola, One Shinobi, did a photo shoot, actually, as their vampire persona, Methuselah. Go check that out. Wearing our designs, our diaspora apparel. Larvel Freeman actually was there, helping out with the photography and making sure the shoot went amazing. And they're chilling like a villain on penicillin, and what am I killing? I mean, hopefully this merch idea, hopefully a lot of the concepts that, we talk about on RTD, come through visually, and you can actually see the manifestation of our, our ideology and what our team has to say. And what our kinfolk have to say. We're amazing, So I'm going to be checking out some music throughout and showing you all the designs. This is Kamiyata, Acts of God. If you are interested, Larvel, we can do trivia and you can win some free diaspora apparel if you just, manage to answer 3 easy questions. You get the answers right, I'd be happy to meet up with you and give you the free swag. We got speakers coming in, so not just clothes. We got ties, whatever floats your boat. We got you covered. My hair is looking a little wild. It literally burst out of the hair tie. It would appear that my hair is a little too untamable, but I actually kind of love that, thicker than Nigerian hair actually applies to my strands. We actually have shows from last weekend this week. We're going to list the ones from this week before last. So Wednesday. And by the way, Larvel, I respect what you're doing. You're doing great shit. I'm proud of you. Wednesday, we're going to start with a protest, right? We got Teaneck Peace Vigil, and that's with New Jersey Peace Society. That's at the National Guard Armory in the city, right? Every Wednesday, 4 to 5. We got Legacy. My bad. We got some spiders as well. We got Legacy with Boom Boom in Cairo at 9 p.m. That was this past Wednesday. We had Desert Monks, The Rezer at Spark Pub, and Krakow. That's in Poland. Artemis and Asal. Danforth Music Hall, Toronto, Canada. Oopsie. Dropping some of our notes. We had Lorna Shore, big show. Whitechapel, Sanguishugabog, and Kubakan, Fillmore, New Orleans. Bathe, Black Hibiscus, who we were just listening to before Kamiyata, at DC9 Nightclub. Ooh, sorry. Oh, spiders. Love you, nature, but you're scary sometime. Bird Talker and Rock Creek Kings, Pearl Street Warehouse. Ooh. Calling Captains, Goalkeeper Statements, Metro Gallery. Gorgatron, Misfire, Vicious Blade, The Meadows. That's in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York City. Speaking of which, we're going to have a pop-up there sooner than later. Check it out. Wednesday, October 30th. We're going to be there, and we're not going to be square. Hopefully we're going to have bands performing, but we'll get back to you because the permit's a little iffy. But we know that we're gonna show up and show out and rock out. 8 Feet 9, Kampala, Nitrogen, and that's in Dublin, Ireland. Ooh. At the Fibber McGee's pub, right? Dabina, Carnival Restaurant and Lounge, Lagos, Nigeria. Inside the Hollow, and this is Thursday. Inside the Hollow, Release the Captive, the After Dark Society in Valhalla, Austin, Texas. We're listening to Chai, by the way, one of my favorite artists. Freestyle of a gorilla song. Gatecreeper is on tour with Frozen Soul and Worm, and they were at the Bottom Lounge in the Midwest. Show Me the Body is also on tour, and they performed with High Viz at the Pageant in St. Louis, Missouri. The Sisters of Mercy, Goth Legends, and Black Audio were at Van Buren in Phoenix, Arizona. Candy, Jive Bomb, Taranay, Soda Bar, San Diego, California. Thursday, we got our Dark Dance Beats party, Asylum 13 in Wilmington, Delaware, Bar 13. Polaroid Fade, Ordinary People, and Cabin Fever, the Seven Crests, Teaneck, New Jersey. Skeletal Remains, The Witcher, Phobophilic, Market Hotel, and that's at Greenpoint, Brooklyn. That was on Thursday night. Homebodies, FACA or FACA, at the Shillelagh Tavern, Astoria, New York City, Queens. Brittany Howard, yes, from the Alabama Shakes with Michael Kiwanuka. We're at Summer Stage NYC, Upper East Side. Sweat FM, Bliss Point and company were at Durham's Pinhook. And speaking of North Carolina, as you know, Hurricane Helene has done irreparable damage, unfortunately, to the Appalachian region. That includes Western North Carolina and Asheville, Tryon, etc. That includes other places on the shore and in the mountains. So if you can, check out Appalachian, grassroots movements to provide mutual aid and support for people that are struggling. And always be aware that if one of us is struggling, then all of us are struggling. We can do more to protect each other. So let's see what else we got to listen to. Sister Girl Riot, Mother Goddess. Friday, yesterday, back in Egypt, Wael Nasser at the Room, 7:30 p.m., Cairo. Demon Hunter, Impending Doom, War of Ages and Company. We're at the Masquerade in Atlanta, Georgia. Head PE is on tour. They performed with Dark Avenue in Trees, Dallas, Texas. Fawn, Majestic Theater, Detroit, Michigan, back in the Midwest. Drowning Pool, Let the Bodies Hit the Flow. A Killer's Confession, Above Snakes, Dante's, Portland, Oregon. Kishibashi, Sweet Loretta, 9:30 Club in DC, 10 p.m. The Fruit Flies, Mad Brenda and Company, Public Bar Live. Hollowed Sky, Friends Red Motel, Moore's Burgers Tavern, Catonsville, Maryland, not too far from Baltimore. Rocktoberfest, Goth Night, Jimmy's Restaurant, right, in New Jersey with Shadow Ascending, Midnight, Vampire, I believe, etc. Richard Lloyd Group in NYC with the Skull Practitioners, Heaven Can Wait. Haven't been there yet, but I hear great things, so check it out. Nervosa, yes. Final Siege, Plague Master. The Meadows, Brooklyn, New York. Unity TX, Mugshot, Silly Goose, Hangar 1819, Greensboro, North Carolina, and Rock Creek Revival in Purcellville, Virginia, at Harper's Ferry Brewing. Today, we have a protest on behalf of Palestine, right? A year of resistance with Palestinian Youth Movement, Samidon, Dissenters, Maryland to Palestine, etc. Chemical X for shows over in Tokyo, the Anti-Knock, with Nanoni and Village and Meyer. Chemical X being the headliner. Hell yeah to Japanese metal, especially women, you know? Ascension, Goth Night in Atlanta with DJ Maz, Nemesis, and System Fail. Don't be late. That's at 10 p.m. tonight, so you still have time to make it. Panopticon, Exulances, Knoll, Dark Matter, Nashville, Tennessee. They're an hour behind the East Coast, though, so keep that in mind. Dayside, Christian, Inferi, Cloak, Trees, Dallas again. The Obsessed, Restless Spirits, Black Sunrise, Reggie's Music Joint, famous venue in Chicago, Illinois. We're so happy to add that to the calendar. Dark Rave, Fetish Night, in Tucson, Arizona. 191 Tool, and that's with DJs DJ Desire Armed, etc. Bar Sinister has their burlesque and goth go-go dance night. Check that out in Los Angeles. Also in LA at the Novo. Santa Gold. The Mighty Trouble Threat in DC because Atlas Brewworks is having their anniversary. And that's with the Capital Rats. So Mighty Trouble Threat and Capital Rats perform tonight at Atlas Brewworks. With the Downstrokes in DC as well, Babies and Rabies and Torino Death Ride. Attacker, Race the Rat, and Traitor over in Newark, Delaware. Halftime Sports Bar at 7 p.m. Dark Tranquility and Amorphous, Baltimore Soundstage. Clan of Zimix for Gothness, Curse Mackey and Sign at Autobar in Baltimore. Who are we listening to? Always Drive. Jefe. Michelle Ndedio Strathmore, Bethesda, Maryland. Borracho, DC Legend, Satan Satyrs, Cafe 611 in Frederick, Maryland. Valerie June, Country Spaceness, Public Playhouse, Hyattsville, Maryland, 6 p.m. Rise Defy, local legends as well, with Jordan and the Switchblades, and Apollo 66. Hi Bouchon, we're listing local shows. Feel free to pitch in if you have any of your own. We're talking bands like Rise Defy, you know, also covering shows in New York City, just all up and down the East Coast and internationally, you know. Doing our part to promote the art. That show with Rise Defy is at American Post Legion 41, Silver Spring, Maryland. Urban Heat, My Goth Darlings, with Wingtips and Shallow Beach, Transpecos, New York City tonight. Yes, hit it up for the spooky vibes and the great music. Reggie's 42nd Street Tavern in Wilmington, North Carolina, despite the hurricane, is still coming together to have their 20th year anniversary. So, hit it up with Freedom Hawk, Thunderlip, and company. Thrash Giving, the 9th edition, with Metal Teresa Productions. Acris, Crush Human, Spiral Grave, and many more. Hit it up at Waters End Brewery in Lake Ridge, Virginia. Nova, right? Northern Virginia. Rockwell's Ghost, Altars of Sedition, Charleston, West Virginia, at the Empty Glass. And that's at 10 p.m. For tomorrow, though, for Sunday, get your Sabbath on. Geoff Tate and Kim Jennett at the O2 Institute in Birmingham, England. Under Oath, Static Dress, The Pageant, St. Louis, 8 p.m. tomorrow. I'm actually pretty impressed that Under Oath is still playing, but they're also having their 20th anniversary of the album that came out in 2004. A lot of 20th anniversary things are happening this year. It's surreal, but it's also a lot of these pop culture moments are shared and they should be celebrated. That rock and heavy music has evolved to the point where it's just mainstream is something definitely worth championing. Because a lot of us remember when we were being demonized just for thinking about playing rock and listening to that music. This is a cover of Nine Inch Nails, Closer. Metalcore version. If you're interested, I'll send it to you. Lesbian Goth Night, speaking of the sexy, spooky vibes. The Echo, Los Angeles. That is tonight. Don't be late. Undeath in Denver, Colorado at the Marquis Theater. Metal-esque, Dante's Portland, Oregon, tomorrow night. Ari Vox and the Sad Lads with Male Tears, Pie Shop, DC, H Street Corridor. Jake Shimabukuro at the City Winery, NYC, Meatpacking District. I love vampire weekends, so they're going to be at Madison Square Garden, and it's not quite sold out, but if you want to hit it up, make sure you get tickets as soon as you can. That's going to be a matinee show, right? Around noonish with the brothers Malkovich, etc. Turn Cold, Lucky Feeling, and Negative Force are going to be performing at Kings and Raleigh, right? Taurus Riley at Ardmore at the Ardmore Music Hall in Pennsylvania tomorrow night. Lilith Rising, American Dharma. Marshall Fuzz, doing it for the Black Rockers, you know. Bad Habits Bar and Grill, Martinsburg, West Virginia. Last week, Friday, shows of note. The Actuators, Painted Panic, and that's in Austin, Valhalla. Ginger, Hanabi, Born of Osiris, Baltimore Soundstage. And then Saturday, last, Cemetery Frost, Gnashing, and Plague Burner, New Orleans, Siberia. And then Nigerian, from the country Niger, Etran Delayer, and Soup Activist in Atlanta at Aisle 5. These are the shows of last week, 2 days ago, yesterday, today, tomorrow, the day after that. If you are interested in trivia, since we do not have that many viewers, just to be blunt, we'll play that next time. But I can show you the designs that have just come in and what we have repurposed and redesigned for all of you out there, for our RTD crew, right? Uh-oh, hope I can find that other sock for you. Hold on. This is what happens when you got too many clothes to go through. Let's see. This is a Victorian blouse. We finally made a Founders shirt. You've seen our socks of the RTD before, the black ones. We got Sister Girl Riot. So this is one of the socks that you can see, design-wise. Don't Fear the Blackness, right? The green, with a repeated pattern on it. So you can rock your lounge gear or photo shoots anywhere that you want. Sister Girl Riot. Crop top, semi-formal, casual. I like pairing it with skirts like this. You might notice this top that we have here that has been accented with African Ankara print. We can either sew this, another version for you, or you can have this one. We don't mind giving away some of our personal wardrobe if it fits and if you want it, because we care about you. But we cannot, unfortunately, do it for free. That being said, all the prices are reasonable, and we love to make sure that we can all rock the diaspora. That's why Diaspora Apparel has reminders of our founders, right? Different team members, including myself, but also where we come from. You can see it in the print and, like, you know, the way that it looks and the way that I present myself as well. Melanin, like Friends. But with Rock the Diaspora logo on the back, right? Another one of our socks that you've seen me wear in photo shoots. Along the side. What else do we have for you? That might be it, my dearies, but the winning look will definitely have to be, and we're going to put a label on this if anyone is interested and might be thinking about wearing this. We're also going to tailor it so that it doesn't rip on you, because this is very delicate fabric. It's from the Edwardian era. This is mourning clothing, which is why our cemetery shoot, we were very conscious about what we were presenting aesthetically, right? You can see here there's actually gathered fabric as it's supposed to close all the way, right? But I thought it would be a nice steampunk look if I simply just wore it open, but accented it in the ways that they would at that time, with long skirts, as you can see here, with damask prints, and just different ways to, throw back to the past, but also be Afrofuturist, because that is Afrofuturism. It's all eras right now, Since we're in the woods, we might as well listen to the passing of the Elves from Lord of the Rings, right? We've talked about their diaspora, right? And Tolkien describing them having to leave Middle Earth, right? To find themselves and to be safe. They have to find another home, even though this one is the only one they've ever had. And the words are about the Valar, or the deity of light, right? Who gave them the stars to see by. And they're speaking of her as they're heading back, right, to the path to the sea to find her. Hold on. Sorry, having some issues here with some critters. Clear are thy eyes and bright as your breath. Snow white we sing to thee, in the far land beyond the sea. Nadendor high, Thariadaran. Elvideth being the Varda. Aelin Nagib Eglarib, the stars and the sunless year, when the world was dark. Nanin Benor Tenanin, with the shining hands that you wrote the world. Sisi Livrin, ne perth why weave in the windy fields, now clear. Kerim Lithilin Thuenanin, we see your silver blossoms bloom, your light, the stars, the first light that the elves remember. Aelvedeth Gilthonia, her official name, Varda. Oh, I love it. It's also like, because Tolkien was Catholic, right? And I have experience growing up in the Catholic Church. It very much reminds me of the reverence in Catholic hymns to Mary. And a lot of that chord structure and just the beauty of the tone in their voices is just like, it's very spiritual, right? I love that Tolkien infused his belief, even though it's kind of heavy-handed and problematic, right, in many ways, into this world, and built this entire view of like magic and connection to the divine, and being young in a species and then growing older and still retaining the memories generationally. That was very powerful. And that's lost on a lot of people with Lord of the Rings, you know? I think they only kind of see what they want to see from fantasy, many people, but some of the messages are also lost. This is Sun Ra. Just super ahead of their time. This is the Outer Space Employment Agency. Space is the place. So, what have we learned? Well, we've learned that diaspora applies to many different things, both in the fantasy realm, right? Lord of the Rings. Finale with Rings of Power just came out Thursday. I need to check it out. But that, like, black people, hey, like, that's us. Like, we've been here, okay? Like, we don't have to, like, force our way into anything. We simply just are the alpha and the omega. We are the beginning, right? The blackness, the void. Which is why we say, don't fear the blackness. Which is why we say our roots run deep. Because they truly do. We rock. Naturally. We excel naturally. And I know there's a lot of pressure for us to be a certain way, right? To be twice as good as the oppressor, as it were, to be considered at all. But I want you to know, Rock the Diaspora, a big part of our message is that simply just by being your black self, your African self, you are winning. And we care about you. We're always thinking about y'all out there, not just as an audience, not as a follower really at all, but just as beings that have your own energy radiating out there, you know, in the universe. The remnants of the Big Bang. Sun Ra is just incredible. Like, look at this. So cool. Some sample trivia questions for you before we dip. Which artists are associated with DMX? Don't say it in the comments, but just think about it for next time. Megan Thee Stallion's song, Musashi, is sung in English and what other language? Pretty sure you know that.
Oh man, what's happening? Everything is happening.
Why are New Yorkers called that? Where does that word come from? And what does it mean?
You know, who are you? I'm everything and nothing.
I am everything and nothing.
Well, you better tell me about this nothing stuff, because I need a job. I don't know what to do. What have you been doing lately? Nothing really, nothing. How long have you been doing nothing? Quite some time. Quite some time.
Right.
You must be an expert at it. Got my BA. We'll hire you to do that. How much I get paid, man? Nothing.
Right, you're not getting paid shit to work at the Outer Space Employment Agency. What you mean? We're Afrofuturists here. We're not capitalists. Consider this a volunteer position. You feel me? I thought y'all would appreciate this because it's about the 53rd year anniversary since this particular media, right? With Space is the Place. I was also talking to G. Salim from Afroflux, amazing Afrofuturist organization in the UK, about just the influence of Sun Ra and like the notion that he actually might have been one of the few people to have contact with the outer realm, outer space. That is up for you to decide, certainly, but I do think there is a certain Dogon aspect to his discussions about space and his love for it. I think that there is a deeper connection than we might realize. And with the Dogon, before I leave, they are a tribe in Mali who have intimate knowledge of the Sirius star system. But the reason that they say that they have that is not just because they're amazing astronomers and they have observatories in the Bandiagara cliffs and the high places of the Malian mountains, but because they said the Nomo, the people from the stars, strange beings, but smart, wise beings, came to them and shared the knowledge of the Sirius system. And then, this is the kicker, went back So they came from the star system, shared their knowledge, as many ancient civilizations have hypothesized, and then went back home. Now, again, there's a discussion of the diaspora, right? And different beings from different diasporas or places meeting for the first time, convening, and sharing ideology and sharing their worlds together. It's a fascinating concept, right? Hasn't existence always been influenced by the confluence and the congregation of people? Yeah. Consider that RTD is always thinking about the origin of things, and we have to consider space. We have to consider why Sun Ra said space is the place. We have to, too, consider the fact that ontological shock, aka the having to rewrite your notions of what Earth is, right? Who we are, and what encounters we might have had to shape our evolution. That's also part of the conversation of Afrofuturism. Going to deep space with Euclid, with the European Space Agency, and what we might find, and the impetus for even going in the first place, that we feel confident enough that we will discover something, is also part of the relevant conversation of us as humans. Humans transcending race, humans transcending time, and finally, as Carl Sagan said, putting our feet into the shore of the cosmic ocean, we have finally realized that the water is not so cold. Those spaces. And there's a lot to learn as people, as humans. But we can learn it together. And until next time, RTD, take care of yourself. Visit our shop at rockthediaspora.redbubble.com. Feel free to join our Facebook group. You can see the link on our profile. Check out our official website at rockthediaspora.org. Send some love to Madame St. Beatrice because she is amazing, and I am not going to get too personal, but she needs our love and our support now. Sister Girl Riot, who you saw featured on our clothing, also deserve that love. Maya Sakura, Honeychild Coleman, Simi Stone, and Tamar Kali, I love you. Marshall Davis, I love you too. Thank you so much for just being who you are. I appreciate you so much. Having some cuff issues. And many more, including my mama and my family. I have many more surprises for you and goodies. But until then, I will catch you on the flip side, alright? Stay black, stay safe, and stay you.